Hello guys, my name's iMac117 and today I am doing my review on Andor Season 2, Episode 1 to 3. They released all three of them at once and I figured we might as well review all of them at once. I believe this is something they're going to be doing where they're going to be doing each week, they're releasing like 3 episodes a week. And mainly because each 3 episodes is an arc of a story, kind of like what the Clone Wars used to do, where they had like, the Battle of Geonosis arc or the Umbaran arc or, stuff like that. So that's what they're doing here. And I think that was a good choice. One of my biggest issues with Andor Season 1 was there was a lot of times where you just felt like, I don't know, the episodes just weren't going anywhere. That's how I kind of felt with heaps of them. With them releasing them 3 at once, I think that's the right way to go. Because, it's kind of like, okay, that's one story, and that's one story. And it makes them just better to watch overall. Because the thing is about the show is, yes, it is called Andor, but it focuses on like multiple stories at once. Where these 3 episodes, there's like 3, I guess 4 actually stories going on at once. You have Andor stealing an advanced TIE fighter. You got the wedding on that nice planet. You've got the Imperial stuff with the girl that I always forget her name, and Director Krennic, which is fucking awesome. And then you also have the farm planet as well. By the way, I'm probably forgetting all their names. I will be forgetting their names. I cannot remember any of them. I will need to remember who is who and all that. But, yeah. But overall, I think this is a pretty good show. I'm really enjoying it. I love the grittiness of this show. I think there's too much of a real-world aspect in the Andor show. That's kind of my biggest criticism with the show is I think there's too much of the real world, which is something I'll get to about episode 3. But episode 1 starts off really cool. You see Andor in this TIE fighter pilot uniform, which looks really cool, and they're doing a figure of that. Can't wait to get that. And he steals the TIE fighter, and that's a really awesome moment. By the way, CGI, practical effects, all really good. All look incredible. Have no complaints there whatsoever. All the acting is incredible, by the way. There's one thing I do like about this show is that there's no annoying character. And I think that's one thing that's really great about the show. Like Book of Boba Fett, you had the stupid, annoying robot teenage people who were annoying. You had, in Obi-Wan, you had Reva. Mandalorian, you had Jack Black and Lizzo. There's no one in this who's really annoying. And that's one thing I really like about this show. And the first season as well. But yeah, I think the weakest, or the story that was kind of the most annoying, was the one where Andor is like captured by these like resistant fighters, if you will. And they just kind of kept on fighting between each other. They didn't really have a leader and stuff. Kind of remind me of the Resistance actually from the Clone Wars in that one arc. I think it was in season 5, I believe. With Sol Guerrera. And yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know, I just found it more annoying. I liked when Andor just went, nah, fuck you, I'm out of here. I thought that was great. He was captured for a bit, but he's just like, yep, I'm out of here, see you later. But then we actually found out that planet is Yavin 4, which is, that's interesting. I wonder if they're going to go back there and get those guys like, listen, do you want to join us or be a bunch of idiots? So, yeah, very cool. The kind of like wedding party stuff is probably the most boringest, I would say. I think though the acting, the performances are really good, and I like all the costume designs and stuff like that, and high society basically, and they're just kind of like, there's this moment where Mon Mothma is just celebrating her daughter's wedding, and she just gets super wasted and starts dancing, and the music is quite odd for Star Wars, but it works. I know there were some people complaining about that first trailer for Andor, and it had that kind of rock and roll music. It didn't really bother me. I think it worked. It's kind of like that small fan film with the 212, and it had like that like kind of doom music to it, but it didn't bother me. I thought it worked. Yeah. What else is there? There's the stuff on the farm, and there's just basically them just like, we're going to get inspected soon, and we just need to take, really just, be cautious and all that. And I thought all that's really good. The girl from the first season's back in there, and I can't remember her name, but she was having visions of like this Imperial guard like coming in and touching her or whatever. I can't remember did she get abused? I know she got it punched up, but I don't think she got like touched or anything. Did she? in that first season? I can't remember. But speaking of that, there is one controversial thing that everyone is talking about, but in the episode 3, there is a moment about Imperial Guard who's really just kind of pushing that not so good vibe. And it's the vibe of a word that I don't know if I can say on YouTube, but let's just say it rhymes with ape, and we'll leave it at that. I don't know how I felt about this. Like, it's yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I don't like it in Star Wars. Like, I get it's a real thing and people do it and it's awful, and I get that, but I just don't know how I felt about it in my Star Wars show. That's kind of how I felt about it. And, you know, that guy died, which is good. But yeah, that was just kind of something that just really did not hit me in the right way. I don't know. I just felt like for a Star Wars show, it was a bit too much. And you have to remember, kids are going to be watching this because it's Star Wars. And I don't know. I get the guy behind this is not really a Star Wars fan. He just puts in a whole bunch of real world shit, which is obvious. He has. But it just, I don't know. There was something about it that just really just didn't feel right. It's even like the characters swearing as well. Like they said bastard and shit and stuff. Once again, it just doesn't feel very Star Wars-y. I just don't really like when they put that type of stuff in there. I know that's like a mini complaint and whatever, but I don't know. I just didn't really like it. But that whole scene, it was done well. But apparently he wanted to go further with it, the director. But I'm happy they didn't. I don't know. It did. I just was like, why is this in this? You know, why is this in my Star Wars show? I get this is a more grittier show, more adult show, if you will. Like, it's that kind of thing. But, I don't know. There was something about it that I just thought, did it need to be in this? That's how I felt about it. Yeah. But, I'm curious to see what everyone's reactions are. I've seen a few that all think is a bit too much, but... Or there were some people saying, like, it needed to go further with it, and I don't know about that. I think that's a bit ridiculous. Yeah. By the way, Stormtroopers look awesome. Just, all the Imperial stuff looks incredible, by the way. Director Krennic's back. He's great. Ben Mendelsohn, man, he is that character. He's so good as that character. I just love every scene from him. They basically just showed this planet, and like, yeah, it's a nice looking planet, isn't it? We're going to destroy it. I just love it. And then it's like, it's kind of this propaganda moment as well between these characters. And it's very based on like Nazi propaganda, that kind of thing. And yeah, well, the Empire were based on the Nazis, the German Nazis from World War II, if people didn't know that. I know people would be like, it's not political. I know Star Wars is inspired by a lot of things like that. And yeah, so they did that there. Which, yeah, Director Krennic so far, really loving him. Yeah, just he was my favorite part in Rogue One. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy that he's back. There is a scene between the Imperial chick and that other weirdo who are now a couple, which once again, did I miss that? I need to watch season 1 again, because there's a lot of stuff I must have not, like... To be honest, when I was watching it on my phone, and I was reorganizing my figures on my shelf. So maybe that's why I missed a few things. But I can't stand that person's mother. God, she's got an annoying voice. But they have like a dinner scene, and it was a bit... I don't know. I will say, though, that woman, the Imperial chick, when she's not all like that... She's really pretty. I just want to say that. Outside of, this, she's actually a really pretty woman. Yeah, so overall, I definitely have enjoyed this. As I said, that one scene about the ape, that to me, I just think is a bit too much in Star Wars. I just don't think it needed to be in Star Wars. I get, like, it's, oh, you're an adult, you have to deal with it. That's fine, but to me, it just felt so out of place. I don't know. I'm curious to see what people's opinions are on it. I just think it's a bit too much. That's what I think. Yeah. But, besides that, I really enjoy the show. I'm definitely looking forward to the next few episodes coming out. That TIE Fighter is awesome. I hope they make that in Lego. I actually might get that. I definitely want to get the Andor fig because that TIE Pilot suit was really cool as well. But yeah, really, really great show. I definitely recommend it to people. I think it's really good. It's definitely one of the best Star Wars shows out there, and it's definitely not full of woke crap. I think just, it's, let's just say there's Acolyte, which is awful, and then there's Andor, which is really good. But as I said, I think that one scene to me was just, I don't know how I felt. It just really was like, why is this here? That's how I felt about it. But I think out of 10, I'd probably give this like a good 8, or probably a 9 out of 10 to be honest. I don't really have much to complain about except for that one scene. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely recommend it. Give it a watch. If you love Star Wars, then there you go. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.